न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैः न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूपः शक्य अहं नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर.
This cannot be seen by the study of the Vedas, nor by yajnas, sacrifices, or gifts, rituals, or severe austerities. You are the only one in the world who has seen this form. Kuru Pravira, O great hero of the Kurus. So again he's boosting Arjuna's sagging morale. But what he's done here is he's covered the entire spiritual sadhana in this one verse. And he says, all these are not enough for you to see. Only you have seen. What it means is, it is not possible to see. Nobody can see it. When he says no one has seen it, he means nobody has seen it. So if you are a sincere seeker, don't look for a cosmic form. Don't look for a universal form. After 5 days of Vishwarupa Darshan, in the end, Krishna is saying, not only has nobody seen it, but it's not possible for you to see it. So if you start seeing things, you know what you need to do? Go see an eye doctor or a psychiatrist. Because you're seeing things that are not there. But what he's saying is, by merely performing spiritual sadhana, you may go by the letter and do everything that is prescribed, but without the participation of your heart. And then it is useless. You must look beyond. Even in English you say, look beyond the letter and capture the spirit. This is true in any field of endeavor. You know, you read an article written by someone, it may have the best English, the best style of writing, but if there is no heart in it, and that heart is not in the letter, it is between the words. It's something that is not in the written word, it's beyond that. But if that which is beyond the words is not accompanying the words are useless. Similarly, with anything you do, if you don't do it with your heart and soul, it is useless. So what Vedanta says is, if you do anything, do it with your heart and soul. Or don't do it, because it's useless. And come back to us, everything we do is half-hearted. Everything you do, there are doubts. I don't know whether I should be doing it. I don't know whether the person will appreciate. Hey, what difference does it make whether another person appreciates or not? As we saw yesterday or the other day. It's, when you rise to a higher level, you look upon everybody else like children. Just as children are mischievous, children are indisciplined, children are playful, children are what they are. That's the nature of a child. So you can't go there and say, I am so and so, and you must listen, you must be disciplined. So that's what it is. What he's saying here is, by merely performing the sadhana, you don't benefit anyway. You must have that desire to get out. You know, there are some hospitals here. Someone was telling me, a neighbor of mine, about a hospital that she had to go to. She was ill. But she's a foodie. You know, she likes food. So she got out of the hospital after 5 days and comes back and says, you know, this hospital, she doesn't speak of the doctor's competence. She doesn't speak of the whatever she went to the hospital for. She comes back and says, excellent food they give you. But however good the food may be in the hospital, and however comfortable she may have been in the hospital, and on top of that she says, you know, insurance covered me 100%. So I didn't have to pay anything. But still, no patient ever goes to the hospital, however luxurious it may be, however good the food may be. There is that, from the time you enter the hospital, you have this desire to what? Get back home. Get out of that hospital. In the same way, we have entered. So why do you go to the hospital? Because there's some disease. Why have we entered this world? Because there are dis-ease. We are all at dis-ease. And so we have entered this world which is like a hospital. From the time you enter the world, there must be this irresistible desire to get out of this hospital. Why? Go back to your original being. And it's only when you have that you benefit from the spiritual sadhana. Otherwise, you'll go and do a puja, you'll go to a pilgrimage, you'll go to a temple, you'll go by the book and do everything. But your spiritual level won't rise even by 1 degree. So what must we do? Not follow the rituals, not follow the sadhana. We must somehow or the other get to the understanding that my abode here is temporary. And my real abode, this is like a hospital, my real abode, residence is somewhere beyond this. And when you understand that, life becomes exhilarating. Even when you don't reach that, you are free from the problems here. You know, we've been talking about a movie called Lock Up, in which there's this guy who enters a prison, and the prison warden, for some strange reason, dislikes him and is out to get him. So he uses the system to provoke him into acts of violence. And if he gets violent, what happens is his prison term is extended. So he understands that. And there's a competition between him and the prison warden. Prison warden is trying to provoke him, and he is trying his best not to get provoked. So when he, in prison you don't get a la carte meals. You are given whatever is dished out to you, and you're hungry because they make you work. So he goes there, he's starving, and he puts his plate on the table. He's about to start eating when somebody comes and snatches his plate away from him. And he's wild. He's about to fight. Then he understands, no. What does he remember? I need to get out of this prison. If one meal I don't get, what difference does it make? That's your attitude in life. You're not interested in anything that happens in the world because your vision is set on getting out. Getting out of the prison, preferably on parole. Parole, how do you get? Good behavior, which is karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. You do what you have to do, get out of this prison as quickly as possible. Don't get involved here, don't get entangled. But while you're in the prison, you have to do something. You do whatever you have to do, detachedly. And that's the thing. Therefore he says, Kuru Pravira. Kuru Pravira, best among the Kurus, best among the Indians. The Indians themselves are at they have a distinct advantage because of this tremendous wealth of knowledge and wisdom that we have. No other society, no other culture in the world has this advantage. And with all this, what do? One person comes and says, I missed one day because I went to a dance performance. Second person says, I had to go to a movie. Third person says, I have a Diwali party to go to. Whatever it is, there's some distraction or the other. I'm not saying you should come here. That's not the point. The point is that awareness must be there. The urgency of the matter must be felt. And therefore he says, you're a hero, Arjuna, among the Kurus. And who is he telling? He's telling all of us. All of us are a hero among Indians. Not every Indian has the privilege of exposure to this knowledge. Not every Indian has the basics of life that are fulfilled. We have a roof over our heads. We have had the privilege of education. We have enjoyed the best that the world can give any human being. And with all this, if you don't make use of it, it's a Mahati Vinashti, says the Upanishad. So each one of us must tell ourselves that I must whip myself into achieving excellence, into getting out of this prison. When a person commits himself or herself to that, then life becomes a dream, wonderful experience.